everybody, and welcome to Let's Build live from Oak Hill Works, where the camera even took a moment to adjust to the new lighting. How are we all doing? I hope you are well. And please let me know how the audio is, because I've had to move the microphone to get these massive lights in, because they are absolutely huge. Not that I expect you to be surprised by that, because look, my skin is now skin coloured instead of slightly yellow. And my Bachmann birdcage carriages are SE&CR coloured, not yellow. My workbench is white, not yellow. I think you get where I'm going with this. Everything is better. I see that there was some blueness there. Yeah, I don't think the camera was used to that. Brought CSWR Dark, it's gone. Just bought a body from Lady Alex. That is excellent, Linny. Glad to hear you won those. The exposure on camera could have been increased slightly to compensate for the white bench. I will have a play with that through the week. I'm not going to do it live. Prove SE&CR coloured birdcage carriages. Paint spill, no, I'm getting. Huzzah for birdcages, agreed. The white bench means your grey primer looks very dark. That would be because it is very dark, to be fair. Normally, my primer is this colour-ish. This is a very dark primer. Because, you know, that's what they had. For comparison, brass is brass. Might be worth your new workbench being a light grey. Nope, not happening. White means I can find stuff. So, for Mr. Pet's interiors, because you weren't here last week when we put an interior in the carriage. So we have here a first class saloon, first class compartment, bench seat all the way along, and two seats here and here. I cannot see how well this is coming up on the camera because there's a massive light in the way and it blinds me every time I look to the screen. We have a sofa along this side with a table at the end and two chairs at the end, and then on this side we have the bed. It is all there, and it is as per the original because we have the floor plan. So hopefully it will all go very well and look very nice. Of course, I'm glad to see the paint spill command came up straight away, because I do have the SE&CR Coach Crimson paint pot here, which of course is the one we have spilt both times. Smash the like button, you plebeian clods. Smashing like buttons may or may not decrease insults. Brilliant, Alex. I approve of interiors, and that is a good interior. Thank you very much, James. Coming up beautifully, looks great. Thank you, guys. The Invalid should be nice and cushy. I hope so. Have we decided what is wrong with our Invalid? We have not. What did you make the sofa from? The sofa was made from the ratio seating that we've used in the ends and there. So it was cut down to be just below window height, with some blocks of plasticard on the end to make the armrests. Consumption heading to the coast for the sea air. That, I mean, that makes sense, certainly. Oh, I've still got my masking tape on here from when I primered it. Let's take that off. So yeah, we have a primed carriage because I wasn't going to leave it unprimed to paint through the week. Fun fact, we might be able to do that on camera from next week because hopefully, I say hopefully, we should be in the new recording studio next weekend. Which is, it feels quite significant because as I realised yesterday, this week is 100 weeks since the first live stream. And it may well be our last one at this workbench. Bit special that, isn't it? Marvellous recording has a lot of weeks. It is a lot of weeks, right? Nearly 2 years. It is. It's only 4 weeks short of 2 years. But yes, 100 weeks we have. 100 weeks ago we met here where I felt very nervous and didn't really know what to say. And now I come back every weekend and absolutely love it. So, thank you for the support over these last 100 weeks. I have loved it. I hope you have too. Let's get on. So, my thought was to start with painting the interior of the carriage. Then I realised I have no idea what colour the interior of this carriage would have been. Scary, it feels like a few weeks ago we started, doesn't it just, Harry? And hello, how are you? I hope you are well. Yeah, 100 weeks. Things were a lot less professional then. I mean, if I flick this off, I didn't have a giant light bearing down on me that I can't even get the whole thing in frame. That's how big these new lights are. And I've got one each side of me. So you can see why I'm slightly blind when I have to look past one of them to see the screen. So yeah, interiors. My thought then went to, it would probably be something wooden, mostly. I'm good, thank you. How are you? I am very well, thank you, Harry. Very well indeed. But yeah, that was my thought, is it would be something wooden. Perhaps with carpet on the floor. It's first class, SE&CR first class was blue, so I've got a tin of blue as well. Other than that, I couldn't really work out what to do, so they're the colours we're going with. If anyone's got any other ideas, let me know. I'm gonna get the blue tack. Because, of course, I wouldn't want to spill the paint over this workbench that we're potentially never going to sit at again because we've got a new one. No, I definitely wouldn't want to do that. Good evening, Alexander. How are you? I hope you are well. Now, if I paint a section of that on the wall inside, you should hopefully see, if I can get it. No, let's get a bit higher up the wall first, where I can line it up better to where I can see what I'm doing on the camera and I'm not completely blind. Is that showing up there and showing that the carriage is just really dark? Late blue tack. How about a mauve interior? I can't see it personally. Blimey, it's like you're doing this in daylight. It's weird. It's great, isn't it? And yeah, it feels like sitting here in daylight from this side of the camera as well. Right, thanks. Had to go Fox transfers recently for a friend. Renumbered 4MT to 80151. Excellent. And how did it go? I hope it went well. I do like Fox transfers. Talking of transfers, we have some new transfers to try out soon. Because something Brighton was put in front of me. And it kind of feels like it's my job to review those things. So, our next project, and therefore to be the first project started in the new recording studio, will be this B1, which is going into improved engine green thanks to these transfers off of eBay. Or it will become South Sea number 177, which obviously is completely different to what it is now. And of course I also have the standard Stroudley number plate from EB Models. So it will be getting Stroudleyified, and I'm rather looking forward to that. Went well, though I'm told the BR crest decided not to stick, though this was a quick amendment. Ah, well, as long as it was a quick amendment, it's not too bad. South Sea baby indeed, Alex. I am very much looking forward to that one. Of course, the transfer maker is to me an unknown entity, so I am rather looking forward to trying out and reviewing something new. He does any name you want. I just £33 for the sheet, which I just bought the sheet, sent him a message, can I have the name South Sea? And a few days later it fell through my letterbox. Proof D1s, B1s, J1s, yes, B1s, but also D1s. Happy to finally see her get the livery she deserves. Indeed, Alex. It has been a long time coming. I too am looking forward to it. Of course, I already have a B1 in Umber, which has appeared in a video. So it will be nice to complement that with a improved engine green one. The Umber one is also a reboilered example. So it shall be great to have one as built. It's also good to not have hairs in your interior. I could never have done it the justice you will. Well, you say that, but I've seen some of your old wargaming stuff and it was great, Alex. And so I think there's a lot more skill there than you believe. And besides, lining something with one-piece transfers is almost feels like cheating. It's so easy. Painting wargaming figures is different. Plus, I can't actually paint that well anymore. I'm sure you could, given some practice. There we go, that got it right up to the top there. My eyesight is way worse than it was, and my hand's less steady. I accept it. Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, as I come to the end of this wall, what do we think for the floor? Would we have a wooden floor with a rug, or would we have a fully carpeted floor? That is my question. But you can see now the colour gone on there nicely. A nice Persian rug. Well, I'm not painting a Persian rug. Oh, I've got one for inspiration, literally 1.5 foot away from me, but I'm not painting a full Persian rug. Hello and good evening, looking good so far. Thank you, Andy. What do you think of our nice bright lighting we've got now? Which, once I saw how good it was, I genuinely thought about leaving the workbench as it was and not using these lights until moving into the new studio. And then I saw how good they are, and I had to. But yeah, I'm thinking a rug is certainly likely in the compartment I'm painting now. And I'm not convinced it wouldn't have been a rug in the saloon. Ah, no, don't get paint on the outside. Well, not this colour anyway. Preserved SE&CR Saloon has blue seating, quite pale blue, and a reddish purple carpet. Perfect balance lighting, wonderful, excellent, thank you Andy. Red and blue patterns. The only red I have is buffer beam red. And I don't have a pale blue. My blues are Humbrol 104 and Humbrol 25. Paint mixing, guys, I don't think we've ever done that. I've got something I can do it in for a small amount. Because that obviously was a planned for eventuality. But we can certainly see about doing that, yeah. And hopefully I won't spill anything whilst I'm doing it. Because that would be irritating. And there we go, that's all the interior walls painted. So we do not think that would be useful for the floor, so it can go away for now. Look at how my whites are white, isn't it great? You can finally see how dirty this is in the correct light. I've always wanted to replace those yellowy lights, and I'm so glad I have. Daz effect. I was wondering if there'd be a detergent reference thrown out in response to that. We now turned into an advert for Daz. Indeed we have. The closest I've ever come to doing an advert is that I was asked to do a shout out at the start of Tuesday's video, and I did. And to be fair, I would have done it anyway even if I wasn't asked. But it does mean Alex can call me a shill now, so that keeps him happy. You can also see the real colour of the hydration is important mug. And how nice the terrier on the other side looks. Exclamation mark merch in the chat to get your own. Oh, I'm glad to see you did go with calling me a shill there, Alex. As I say, I'm okay with it this time. I don't think I've got anything I can really say in response. Car chatbot's running a bit slow. Right, we're going to allow that to dry a bit. We're going to do the underside and the bogies in not quite black. And for those that can see how long that URL is, you can see why when we had no chatbot I was not remembering it. Is not quite black the new black? It is indeed. Not quite black is my favourite black. You're not allowed a skin. That's not cricket. That's quite a thick skin as well. Okay, so several times I have said how great enamel paint is, because it never goes off and you can just add a bit of white spirit to it. The thing is, as of yesterday, this is the only white spirit I've got. And I don't know how clean it is. Because I used the last of it up doing stuff for the recording studio. Wow, that's dirty. Is that not the blue used on the SE&CR? This is the blue used on them, so the mug is very, very close. That's really, really dirty. But you know what? Without it, that's how dirty it is. But without it, I've got not quite black. So I'm just going to add a little bit. And we're going to call it advanced weathering. Not quite black is great, as long as you don't have to paint Anish Kapoor, who's painted the super dark. Indeed, yes. Although, doesn't he only charge? Is it him that only charges one? Oh no, he charges everyone, and it was someone that made pink that he's not allowed to use. Or is it that? I think. I know there's something about that. And there's a link to the Twitter. For those that don't already follow me. Stuart Semple made the pinkest pink. Aha! And that was in response to the... Anish Kapoor bought the exclusive right to use Nano Systems of Vanta Black for art. Right, there we go. See, I do know things, sort of. But yeah, so we had a almost completely dried out, massively thick-skinned pot of paint. We've added a tiny amount of white spirit, and we now have a very usable paint. You can't do that with acrylics. So Stuart Semple made his pink, which you can only buy if you sign a disclaimer you're not Anish Kapoor or going to give it to him. Yes. See, I remembered the whole you have to sign a disclaimer bit, which I think is absolutely brilliant. Although he has got some. Yeah, and so just like that, we can paint this bogey, and again make the point of how dark this primer is, because if it wasn't for the fact it's shiny, how well could you see that not quite black? this was the only, I'm going to say, or possibly cheapest etch primer I could get at the time when I needed some. Are you painting the bogey blue? No, I'm painting it black. Or not quite black. I'm going to hold that up so I can see when that appears. That's out of focus, that's helpful. Looks very blue on camera. It's not going to focus for me, is it? It definitely looks like not black in person. There is a bluish tinge to the primer, but the paint is Humbrol Matte 32. Which is what I always use in replacement of, instead of black. I never paint anything black. Fair enough. I opened some Tamiya acrylic paint that had been boxed for over 20 years. I had to splash the acrylic thinners. That was with it the whole time. After a quick mix, it was usable again. I've never been able to do that with acrylics. My acrylic experience is always, once it's dead, it's dead. On a stage, you're not supposed to paint anything white. No, I try to avoid white as well, or pure white. My white usually has something added to, well, as I do use it, but if I use it, it's getting heavily weathered at some point. Otherwise, I prefer slightly creamed colours. Because of course you don't see actual white or actual black in the real world. Unless you have one of those Mercedes that's painted Vanta black, obviously. Tamiya acrylics aren't water-based though, they're alcohol-based. Aha, maybe that's why it's different then. That would explain that. I did not know you got acrylics that weren't water-based. I thought all acrylics were water-based. Messes with the theatre lighting. I'm sure it does. Big white workbench here, for example. And very large lights. Because I suppose, much like me now, on your theatre lighting, you have nice pure white lights. There's a long delay in me getting the chat and it's really annoying because I know it's my chat that's the problem, because I can see stuff popping up on the screen before it appears in my chat window, but I can't see what it says because it's too small. White would show up different coloured shadows from different coloured lights. Something awful, I imagine. That's a good point. I didn't think of that. And there we go, 2 not quite black bogies. So we're going to do the underside and the buffer heads, not black. The body sides and the sole bars will be body colour. Because I think the body being body colour is a good idea. That's just me, you might disagree. You'd be wrong, but you know, feel free to disagree. So when I was primering this, it felt so good to just see all the bits of solder disappear. Because of course you'll remember there was a lot of solder across the top. Again, on the preserved Saloon, sole bar sides are lake. Yep, that's what I thought. I was going by these, which also have the sole bars in lake. So I was hoping that was the case. So thank you for confirming. Do that, I never noticed on mine. I thought they were black. Yeah, they are lake on there. I checked earlier. I'll be honest, I hadn't checked until I looked for the sake of doing this. Look, we're going with that terrible idea of painting the whole of the underside. Why? Because I don't want the primer left out, showing anywhere. So at some point I am going to grab the underside of this and get covered in paint. So look forward to that. This is why I spray underframes much less fiddly. Well, once I've got the new spray booth set up, which honestly it won't actually be next week that the spray booth is ready, purely because I will not have the ventilation system done for it. But there will come a time in the very near future where I can spray stuff on the live stream and you'll see the paintbrushes almost always go away. How to Slow the Wargamer has been undercoating white thumbprints everywhere. Glad it's not just me. to do the underside of the sole bars in not black. But above the sole bars will be lake. How to Live War Games been cutting plastic models from sprues. Blood everywhere. Oh. See, I like to think I'm not too bad at that anymore. Ever since learning of my many blood disorders. The whole, oh by the way you're a haemophiliac, was a good way of making me think I should avoid cutting myself. Nice looking garage, is it? Thank you, Ian. I am glad you approve. And how are you this evening? I hope you are well. We're going to have to put some body colour on it soon. Very true, but sharp sprues and craft blades always seem to find a way. That they do, don't they? Yes, just a negative protest going for a jab in the early morning. Ah. Well, I hope your jab goes well. And the bot wants to remind everyone, hydration is important. Sprue will jab you and you won't think anything of it. Next time you look down, your model parts are all red. See, the problem there is, Alex, if something jabs me and I don't notice, when I look down, everything is red, including the workbench. Hope so. Just put a pic on Discord modelling some stuff off the printer, having a bit of experimentation. Oh, that is also very interesting. I don't know why I'm putting the top back on that. I'm going to want that in a second. Because of course, it's crimson time. Or lake. Provided I've got enough left after the last two uses where I spilt it both times. That'd be a really annoying thing to find now, wouldn't it? Crimson Lake, Dark Lake, surely. Well, I wouldn't call it crimson, personally. But the bottle is genuinely labelled SE&CR Coach Crimson. If you can see it underneath that paint spill there. Good evening, Thomas. How are you this evening? I hope you are well. Okay, that confuses my Midland brain. Yeah, I'm not surprised it confuses your Midland brain. Because of all the things it is, crimson it ain't. I'm alright, cheers. How devil are you, sir? I am good, thank you. Rather excited that this could be the last time Let's Build in from my living room, as we should be in the fancy new recording studio by this time next week. Of course, we know pre-grouping companies often use strange names for their paints. That's very true. Very true indeed. Improved engine green, anyone? It's as crimson as IEG is green. Exactly. Hooray for proper studio. Yes, indeed, Thomas. It's very exciting. We are, of course, sitting under the proper studio's lights this evening, which is why everything is so much brighter and less yellow. And again, that makes me happy. I said earlier, there was a moment I considered saving these lights until we were in the studio, and then I saw how good they are, and I was like, no, I'm not saving these for anything. I can't work under that old lighting anymore. I actually really like the proper lights compared to the yellow. Lighting does look different, but thank you. Here we go. I showed this earlier. I should do it again for those who weren't here. Flick this off. These are proper studio lighting units. They are absolutely huge. And with two of them coming down, so I've got one on each side. Obviously there's much less shadow. Colours seem more vivid. Yes, it is so much better. It's confused me. I keep thinking it's day. That's what I was after, Harry. That is exactly what I was after. Everyone thinking they had accidentally turned up to a daytime stream. Well, now I know what I need to invest in now. Honestly, these were £40 for the pair, and they've got spare bulbs. And oh my god, the bulbs, they are huge. But it is so nice to have some proper lighting. Behind diffusers. Just makes everything outside of the lights really hard to see. Because everywhere else looks dark. Can you put a link to the light somewhere? That's good value. Send us a link when the stream is over. Yes, someone ping me a DM on Discord and reminding me to stick a link to the lights in the marketplace, and I will do so once the stream is over. Because otherwise I will forget. But yeah, I have been using them all through the week with little things I've been doing up here at the workbench, and they're so much nicer to work under. Excellent, cheers Ian. So they came off eBay, and they were with me less than a week. Well, they were definitely with me less than a week after I ordered them, because I ordered them last Friday. I think they arrived Wednesday, possibly. But it is, even sitting here, it is like working in natural light. And there is one side painted. Also, is it bad that since having my airbrush, the idea of hand painting a big area makes my insides twinge? Is this the airbrush snobbery I've heard about? Yes it is, and I cannot wait to get in the new studio and be able to airbrush on stream. You sent me a pic on Tuesday of the lighting. So it was Tuesday. I ordered them on Friday and they were with me on Tuesday. And here we go, since I've got spares, when I say the bulbs in these things are huge, I mean the bulbs in these things are huge. Jesus, might have to look for some bayonet types for my main bedroom light. Yeah, they are pretty massive. Let's do this end since it's facing us. It saves me turning it round. I like a bright bedroom, what can I say? Yep, fair enough. I mean, if you get a set of these lights, you don't really need other lights. You just flick these on. Thought they were flat panels when you showed it just now. No, they are massive bulbs in diffuser boxes, or diffuser pyramids, I should say. Cause they've got reflector panels round them, and then the diffuser on the front. But yeah, definitely need some of those lights since swapping stuff around. My modelling desk has been very dim. Well, I mean, these came with tripods as well, so completely self-supporting. So they are a fantastic set. The bulbs in them are LEDs, apparently. I legit have a defunct iPad 2, a mini DIY light box and lamp set up to light it anywhere near usable. I used to have 500 watt equivalent bulbs in my room until the landlord changed the light fittings. So yeah, these are, again, I'll flick it off again. Oopsie. They are reflector panel boxes with diffusers on the front. Always go 800 lumen bulb minimum now. Yeah, makes sense. Bright lights are best lights. Yeah, but that was my normal bedroom lighting. Yeah, I know. I'm well aware of what you had in your bedroom. I remember when you lost it. And there's a link to the channel's website. Go, enjoy. Read about the new studio, actually. The latest blog post was about the new recording studio and included floor plans. So for everyone who wants to see what we'll be working out of as early as next week, the website actually is the place to go. As a dweller of the dark, you lot of freaks. Thanks, Alex. I like my freakness. So when these arrived, obviously it was daytime, because Posty dropped them off. And yeah, so I played about with them in the day, and they were brighter than the daylight coming in. Do the lights come in a carrier? Yeah, they've got carriers. Well, they've got a carrier that takes the whole lot. That, however, is a way, because I will be modifying these when they go in the recording studio. So they shan't be leaving it often. Because I currently have 3 tripods. Once the studio is set up, I hope to have none. Unleash the power of the sun. Exactly. And these well and truly do. The thumbnail for tonight's live stream, for those that don't know, was a test of the lights actually. Normally I take the thumbnail pictures on the Saturday morning with the daylight shining in. This week I took it on Friday night under these lights. And I was so very happy with it. Had the sun in my hand. What? You're a star killer, so I expect so. Tripod, yeah. Too many tripods. I'm quite worried they're going to try and take over the world. So I plan on silencing them all and locking them away. By using the power of modification. Which hopefully will go very well. Of course, I've had to keep everything separate at this workbench because this workbench can move. The new workbench is very solidly bolted to the wall and floor. So I can have things mounted from the workbench, it won't move. Just aim them at Woking and let the army sort them out, and then let the navy sort them out when the army fails. Ah, yes, definitely. And that is, of course, what I was going for. So you'll get me in trouble with the copyright people, Alex, because I'll start singing. The YouTube police will come and tell me off. And don't say I started it, because I'm well aware I started it. But yeah, so that is it. The plan for next week is to be in the new recording studio. For those that are on Discord, I posted a picture yesterday of the first wall, or the first fake wall. So the first one of these walls behind me, or in front of me, even, up in place in there yesterday. So once we are done live streaming this weekend, those walls in here will be coming down, ready to be fitted in there. They'll have some big chunks taken out of them underneath workbench height first so that we can fit proper plug sockets. No more extension cables. They are having plug sockets wired in properly. The new workbench is ready. The new shelves are ready. They just need bolting into place. So it should not take me too long. Isn't it the Lord sing along Jeff Wayne's Thunder Child? It should be anyway. I'm pretty sure it is, yes. Across the bay. No, you'll get me in trouble. You'll get me in lots of trouble. You bad people. I thought I heard her calling as the steamer pulled away. Do you want YouTube to copyright strike me? You only get 3 of those and they delete your whole channel. And we're doing too good to be deleted now. We've got a studio coming next week. Right, now before we do anything else, I must remind you all, hydration is important. Just don't do it 2 more times after. This is worth it. Well, there will be no tripods after this week. Yeah, see, that one's definitely my fault, Paderborn. Always believe in your... That's green. Always believe in your green. Oh god, now I'm making Blackadder references. So we're saying we want a bit of that and a bit of that. And we should hopefully come up with something purple, and that would be correct. Yes, Linny? Actually, that's the... Oh, we'll go with this one, because that's the darker of the two. Yes, excellent. I don't want to say the skin might be quite thick in this one, but it's standing upright. So the realisation that Horsell Common is less than 10 miles from Linton. It is, isn't it? Oh no, it's okay. The paint is okay. It's just a little bit that's caught on the lid. The paint itself, absolutely fine. That was way too much blue there, I think. But that's okay, we'll add more red. The blue was a lot runnier. A lot more red. Did you know there's a canon USS Thunderchild in Star Trek? That always warms my heart. I did know that, yes. And I think that's fantastic as well. Place I was born is mentioned in War of the Worlds by Fleet Away. Getting a mention in the end of the world. That didn't turn out to be the end of the world. So I want to check here. Everyone can confirm that red and blue make purple, yeah? That is a thing that is fact, isn't it? Because I've taken red and blue, and I've got them all over my fingers, and have seemingly made sleeper grime. What I have not made is purple. Or anything that could be realistically ever turned to purple. Depends how red the red is, looks closer to orange. That red is vermilion. Can you add a load of white? I can try adding white, but I don't think we're going to get anywhere closer to purple. Where did I put the stirry one I was just using? That's the one I was just using. You're going to go there. Might make it easier to see what colour it's leaning towards. It's leaning towards brown. You realise, do you, that you're confusing additive and subtractive colour? Red and blue make purple in additive colour. Dark purple, but mixing paint is subtractive colour. But I've mixed paint at preschool and made. Okay, so why are you trying to paint purple? Must have missed this somewhere. Apparently the carriage has a purple floor, a purple carpet. Information from Linny gathered from the preserved one. So now with a bit of white, we've actually made a purple. That is now purple. So actually it's carpet in the preserved list is red and blue patterns, purple overall. Coach I think closer to a purple round. It's like the coaches behind the saloon one. Yeah. That is now, the outside of that is painted the same colour as them, in theory. Depends how, you know, it depends on how close you think Bachmann and Phoenix are to each other. And I like the coach, it's purple mode, just like the workbench. So it's purple in the, this is purple in the same sense IG is green. I thought you meant the carpet on the floor underneath you as it spills. That is now a purple. It's not what would be my preferred shade of purple, but it is a purple. I've just had a thought. I did some experiments with colour mixing of paints in the past to try and match something that went horribly, horribly wrong. And you'll never believe what colour I ended up with. I genuinely did mix an entire pot of purple in the past. Amazingly, because Humbro or Hornby or whoever you fancy blaming, that this purple is made from grey and grey. That's how horribly wrong that experiment went. But I can't get the lid to sit back on so that I can shake it some more. That mix also looks like grey to me. It is purple. It's very light and on certainly a greyer shade. But once all the pigment is mixed in, and there is a lot of pigment still on the bottom, it is purple. I remember thinking to myself at the time, what am I ever going to use purple paint for? Now, I mean, you know what? It's not actually that far off lavender grey. I'm hoping that's showing up okay now that it is purple. It looks to me like it's showing up as grey. I assure you it's not. It is distinctly purple. Have I got something white I can apply some to as a contrast? Yes. It still tends towards grey, but it is also a clear purple. And I'm hoping that shows up. No, that's still looking grey on the camera, isn't it? Interesting. Because it is, you can see it's purple here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, yes, Alex. This is saying that you need to get your white balance calibrated better. It is, isn't it? Albeit many cameras have trouble. Well, purple has always been a colour digital cameras struggle with, in my experience. Looks like battleship grey. Yeah, it's I'm going to pour some into here and see if we can get a halfway mix. Because it is still quite a light purple. I'd like it to be a bit darker, because it does tend towards grey, but also it is an obvious purple. If that makes any sense whatsoever. That's not too bad. Joys of trying to get my hair right in photos. Yeah, I can see why you know how bad purple is for cameras then. Right, paint spill. To be fair, I'm spilling paint on purpose this time at least. Now, be a nice camera and show this, because I actually quite like this one. Does it look purple yet? No, it still looks grey on camera, doesn't it? Dribble down purple side. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, I know. I saw it doing that, and I just thought, what can I do to stop it? Ironically, chatbot, it is SE&CR coaches this time. Yes, it is. Look, you're going to have to take my word on it, and when restrictions are lifted, you can all come and see it, okay? Because it is actually quite a nice purple now. It is a colour I am happy with. The camera doesn't want you to know. So yeah, once restrictions are lifted, you'll just have to come and have a look at it in person. It is a sort of, it's almost lavender, but it's darker. Restrictions be damned, I'm going nowhere till I get a vaccine. Yep, fair enough. That's very understandable. So once we're all vaccinated, you're all invited to come and look at this colour in real life and see that it is purple. And I've just realised I forgot one of the walls in this end of the saloon. I never did this wall earlier. But there, it is purple. Promise you won't glue the roof on until we've seen it. Well, I suppose I'll have to, yeah. So far the vaccination programme is going faster than my Engage layout. Well, that is good. It's what happens when you let the NHS deal with health instead of your mates who run the pub. Toilet there. I'd say wait a bit even after the vaccine just so you probably won't spread it. Can't glue on the roof until figures have been placed. That's true. That's very true. But that is a purple floor. It's not something I expected to be painting colour-wise. Can't glue the roof yet, Squire's not here. Yes. But that's a purple floor. Whether the camera says so or not. Don't put that back on, we don't want that back on. What we want to do now is do the insides of these. Did the outsides of them earlier. Once the insides are done, they can have their wheels fitted and actually have the carriage sit on its wheels. But, as the bot says, remember kids, hydration is important. And this mug is blue. It's not purple and it's not grey. It's blue. It's also empty. And available from my merch store for all your hydration needs. Reminds me, actually, I fished out my Titfield DVD yesterday to give it a watch. Excellent. I approve of giving the Titfield Thunderbolt a watch. I very much approve of giving the Titfield Thunderbolt a watch. Probably didn't need to shake that up again, but oh well. I think I've even managed to get the kids to watch Titfield with me before. Which is quite an achievement, because I mean, for starters, it was them watching a film. Oh yeah, you'll all notice as well, I was really clever. Cheers, whoever got that one. You beat me to it. But yeah, I made them sit and watch a film, and it was actually a film, and it wasn't playing with their tablets and stuff. So that was good. But yes, as I say, you'll notice I was really clever, and definitely didn't forget to mask up the bearings when I was primering these. So as you can see, the bearings are lovely, bright, shiny brass and not in the slightest bit the colour of the primer. Not this purple, but still purple. Indeed, Joseph. No idea why YouTube had a problem with it. No, YouTube's a bit funny like that, isn't it? At times. It certainly, most of the comments it throws up, and you just look at it like, what? Why, YouTube? Please explain. But it's like the whole link posting thing. Because I do not have links banned on the channel, and I never have. But for some reason, only moderators and me can post them. Hey, I'm in the Discord. Hello, TB Studios. Indeed, you are in the Discord, and now you're in the chat. How are you this evening? I hope you are well. You join us painting our bogies, which is a very, very mature thing to do, painting your bogies. I definitely recommend it. Oh, by the way, dude, you're going to love what my next TS purchase is. Oh, really? Am I actually going to love it, or is it going to be something in Network Southeast colours? Right, just looking for a model train website. Well, those are the best websites. I approve of model train websites. So yes, we have a carriage looking very nice at the moment. I am rather concerned that I have to line it though, and I'm not very good at that. I think I already own all the NSE stuff in game, to be honest, but no, it's the hovering Welshman. My God. Oh, I am shocked at you, Alex. Not only are you purchasing the hovering Welshman, you actually used your word for the hovering Welshman that I totally didn't steal and use constantly now. Still need to see Titfield. Well, you'd best get that done, Joseph. That is very important. That's your homework for this week, is to watch the Titfield Thunderbolt and to come back next weekend and let us know what you thought. It's available on all good torrent websites. Sorry, what? Looking for a new pair of front wheels that I'm going to use on a custom James. Ah, interesting. That'll be a good one to show off on the Discord when it's done. I have a good reason to just wait and see. I'm not sure there is a good reason. Just on Discord, yes, excellent. I approve of joining the Discord. For those that haven't yet joined the Discord, !Discord in the chat will get you a link. Or you can go the really, really long way of typing in oakhillmodelrailway.co.uk/Discord into your address bar. Because that is the link. One day I will get round to setting up all my other links to be Oak Hill Model Railway / whatever. That day is not today. I'll also get round to updating the end screen for the live streams to match the style of the bits I've had Corbs do for me. Because he's done a fantastic end screen for the videos now, which debuted at the end of the Hornby four-wheel carriage review on Tuesday, and it is super awesome and professional and makes me look like I know what I'm doing when I can't even think of words. My respect. my Discord is the best Discord. At least I like to think it is anyway. On your bogies, what wheels are you using? I am using 14mm disc wheels, which I just happened to have lying around when I wanted to find wheels of the correct size. Because I genuinely do just have pots of wheels all over the place. It's the best one I've been on. Every other one has just been total hellscape. Well, I approve of being the best one you've been on. Hornby coaches are kind of weird, to be honest. No, they're not. The Hornby coaches are absolutely fantastic. You should watch my review I did on Tuesday, where I compare them to the real coaches that they were based on, because they are not generic. See, I dropped in the middle of a sentence because I can't think of words. That's how professional I am. And yet Corbs and his editing skills make me look like a professional in my videos. Okay, they're very, if I'm not mistaken. The Hornby four-wheelers are excellent. I only subscribed to one other Discord. I left that. It's better than at least one other one. I am only on 2 other Discord servers, and they're both owned and run by members of my Discord. So, you know, that's how far my Discord goes. Thomas one kind looks weird to me. Hornby. Well, we're talking about Hornby's new four-wheelers, which I conveniently have just over here on the layout. Hornby's shiny new four-wheelers, which are of Brighton design. Look at the colour showing up on that. Isn't it beautiful? Yes, yes it is. That actually looks on camera how it looks in real life. And the good news is I've now found sprung buffers for them that are correct. So soon we will have a live stream and a video of doing up those with sprung buffers, proper couplings, the correct style, grab rails, all sorts of nice stuff. I mean, they're not purple. They are indeed not purple. Which is nice, because this here, this is purple. This, also purple. But I bet when I look at my cat TV now, it's going to look grey. It definitely still looks grey. It's just weird to have 2 Branchlines 4/6 wheel coaches. I'm happy that Hatton's still doing it because Hornby one's very Brighton if you're a carriage nerd. Yeah, there is no, I would not recommend the Hornby ones for anything but Brighton coaches. Because they are very, very Brighton. If you watch my review, you'll see just how Brighton. The Hattons ones are nicely generic, and I am really happy they exist, and I have every intention of getting their South Eastern and Chatham liveried rake as well, despite the fact I clearly have a decent selection of South Eastern and Chatham liveried carriages these days. Because, you know, I've got these, I've got this, I've got a rake of four-wheelers. How many do I need since I model the Brighton? More, that is the answer, more. Why is it weird? Duplication is the name of the game these days in the model railway world. That's very true, Alex. Whereas the Hattons ones are much more representative of carriage building in general. The Hornby ones are very specifically Stroudley. Indeed. I know, but it's weird to see two of the same thing come out around the same time. But they're not the same thing. Hornby just like the word generic when they're not. They are Stroudley carriages. The Hornby ones are generic. How dare you doubt the word integrity of Hornby? What is the worst Hornby model you own? I'll be honest, I don't own a lot of Hornby models. What about Southern? The Hornby ones in Southern livery are okay, on the proviso that you're modelling the Isle of Wight. Otherwise, not so much. I know the best worst questions have come now, you know, you've made it as a streamer. That's true. Do Hornby actually use the word generic anywhere? Yes, in their video announcing them they used the word generic. Other than that, I've not seen it. And I thought that was quite clever of them to not use it until seeing that video. I thought they called them period. All written material, they call them period. But in Simon Kohler's video, I'm sure it was Simon that did the video, he calls them generic. And that is their fault. So, I mean, yeah, but I mean, 4/6 wheel coaches in general. Every railway had them once upon a time. So they're not that weird. With the addition of the Hornby ones, I now have 24 Stroudley four-wheelers. So I approve. When you talk a lot, hydration is important. But yeah, I have heard from someone I'm going to call a very reliable source that they were originally intended to be proper Stroudley four-wheelers, and the plans were changed after Hattons announced theirs. But they were planned before Hattons announced theirs. They were just meant to be Stroudleys until Hattons announced theirs. And they were going to be marketed as Stroudleys to go with Hornby's Terriers. But there we go. Now, blue. Blue is the next colour. Well, 23.5 Stroudley four-wheel as well. Yes, quite. But yeah, unfortunately, my source for Hornby... Yes, Alex, dabba-dee dabba-da. I'm blue. Lightning. Dabba-dee dabba-da. God, that was weird. That was how I knew I'd made it the other day. I got an email from someone. Are you Blue Lightning on RM Web? And it's because this person was... a very well respected person with a very well respected role, because they wanted me to provide something based on my writings. Strike, you're out. Technically, since it's all one video, it would only be one strike. I was waiting for you to say that, though. Well, welcome back. That really was quick. So close. Nothing. No. No, not at all, Alex. Is it really worth saying BRB when you got 2 seconds? I mean, there is that. Well, we were having a discussion earlier about copyright strikes and how YouTube only gives you 3, and they've now got me to sing 3 different songs. So Alex was saying third strike and I'm out because I'd sung 3 different songs. But my retort to that was, no, they're all in the same video, therefore it's only 1 strike. And so he's upset that he couldn't get rid of me from YouTube. Which is quite mean for one of my mods to say, really. Right, so blue for the upholstery. Foiled again. Yeah, foiled again. Linny, I don't suppose we have colour detail about the bed, because I'm assuming that's not all the same colour. I mean, if it is, fair enough, but I'm assuming it's not. Maybe if you would unmod me like I keep asking, I wouldn't try to sabotage you. But you're a good mod. You're the best mod. I'd imagine white, boiled and bleached cheese. That is kind of what I was thinking. Which is actually why the white paint was up here for me to use in my colour mixing earlier. I was on one, but they got banned. Oh dear, that's not good. Haven't ever found any photos at all of the bed. Ah, fair enough. White is a safe bet. Yeah, we'll go with white for the bed. White sheets and a brown bed cover, surely. That does make sense, but that would require me to have a different brown. I wonder if I do. Sort of. So I might be able to do that. What does everyone else think of that? Oh, Alex. So my favourite movie of all time is Red Dawn. The original version, not the remake. The remake is terrible. And I make a point of watching it every 6 months or so. Although it does sometimes go longer than that between watches. Well, that's on War of the Planet and War of the Planet of the Apes. Excellent films. Unless I did have to. I've found some pictures of other companies' Invalid Saloons. Some have white bedding with a darker blanket. Good choice. What? No Titfield. No, no Titfield. Wolverines. Wolverines every time. So a lot of films I have in my film collection, if there is a remake, I will get the remake as well. Red Dawn, I refuse to own the remake. Obviously, I've never seen a remake that is as good as the original. But they just seem to... In the remake of Red Dawn, they seem to miss the whole point of the film. I think Rise, Dawn and War of the Planet of the Apes was the perfect trilogy. I mean, yeah. Planet of the Apes was fantastic, a fantastic trilogy. Oh, by the way, my Runaway Train Blu-ray arrived the other day. God, it was so good to see it in. Ah, excellent, Alex. I am very glad to hear that. Just ignore remakes off the bat. I mean, usually I give them a watch. I go into them knowing they're not going to be as good, but it's interesting to see reimaginings of some things. Planet of the Apes is far better than the original, and the original ones were really bad in my opinion. Nah, the original ones were great. Although I did see the remakes in the cinema. Film remakes smack of no creative... I mean, there is a degree of no creativity to all remakes, yes. It's okay to be wrong. I think the remakes far exceeded the originals. No, I think the originals were much better. I don't think I've ever seen a film remake where I've considered it better than the original. Ever. But for example, I have on my hard drive of film storage the original Italian Job, which is an incredible film, and again is one that gets frequent watching. I also have the remake, which in itself is not a bad film. You just have to ignore the fact it's a remake of the Italian Job, which is really easy to do. It's really easy to forget you're watching a remake of a film that it's nothing like. But if you watch it as if it is a remake of the Italian Job, it's terrible. Oh god, no, not the Italian Job. Well, I love the use of inverted commas there. And there is the blue painted on them. I don't know if Tom. Not happy to imagine. Oh god, no. Right, it's great. Yeah. I've never understood the point of remakes. It is kind of pointless, isn't it? You're right, James. They've never improved anything by remaking it. And there is a link to the donations from the bot, which Alex is clearly pointing at the donations link there, not agreeing with what James said. Little Shop Horrors, the remake is definitely better. I'll take your word on that. It's been a while. So James Hollywood ran his ideas years ago. Now just makes more money on nostalgia. That's very true. Not for myself, yes, but that was Jack Nicholson's first movie. Casino Royale wasn't bad as a remake, mainly because hardly anyone knows the original James Bond with Peter Sellers. Does Casino Royale count as a remake? That is my question. Because, of course, the original wasn't an official Bond, wasn't part of the official series. Whereas the new one was the start of a reboot, which if you look at it from that point of view, as it was a reboot of the James Bond series, it's definitely not better. Casino Royale wasn't... I've read that. The original was in black and white, yeah, but black and white isn't necessarily bad. Plenty of fresh ideas, but easy to get money from an existing thing, true. Never saw Casino Royale, can't stand Angry Red. Are you kidding? What original ideas has Hollywood had in a decade? Original Hollywood ideas in the last decade? No, I've got none. I have none. Sorry. Right. White. No, agreed. It was more than many people don't know the famous version is a remake. Fair enough. Fair enough. I have seen a Daniel Craig Bond, but I can't think what one. I don't think it's Casino Royale. So we're going for that completely unnatural white finish. It would help if I hadn't completely lost the paint, because it's grown a skin. Actually, I was just about to make a Hollywood joke, but I thought better of it. People might get offended. Yeah, best not if people might get offended. So the only Daniel Craig film I liked was Layer Cake, but that's because I like a bit of British gangster genre. I like this film despite him. Yep, that makes sense. That's another one I haven't seen for years. But of course I have the only gangster movies that matter over on the DVD rack. Yes, I know, British gangster, not the same. It's not a patch on Lock, Stock or Snatch, but still good. I don't think I've watched either of those since I moved out from my mum's. That was a while ago. Right, there is the white. It's not quite white, and that's what I'm hoping. I know, Alex. I know. What would you say is the worst movie ever, not including remakes? No idea, I keep my movie watching good. Generally. In fact, no, that is actually an easy one. And Alex, it's an original thing released in the last decade. Because, of course, everyone knows the worst movie ever is the Emoji Movie. Oh no, see, I've not seen or been exposed to any of the Twilight films, so I can't say that. But we all know it's the Emoji Movie. You're all just forgetting it exists because it's that bad. Don't punch the camera. Spoken as a person with children, yeah. I think one of the kids has the Emoji Movie on DVD. That's very... I know why that's very liquid. That's an airbrush mix. I have one here that isn't an airbrush mix. The Emoji Movie doesn't factor onto my radar. I ignored it then and I ignore it now. That's a good policy. It even has a bad review on Rotten Tomatoes. And for a kids' film to get a bad review on Rotten Tomatoes. So we wanted brown. So we have brown. the best of the browns, because of course it is giving me an excuse here to paint marsh umber onto a South Eastern and Chatham carriage. Best animated movie? No, it's not. Not certified fresh then. No, it is not. I can be a part of this chat anymore. I agree, Alex. There is no way any Thomas film can appear on a list of best movies. Nostalgia does not a good film make. And the Thomas films aren't even good for what they are. There's some odd things coming up in this chat. You realise you're a moderator, Alex. Best animated movie is probably something from Aardman, in my opinion. Either Aardman or Ghibli. It's got to be one of them, obviously. Chicken Run was very good. I'll always have a soft spot for Wallace and Gromit. Yeah, agreed on both those fronts. Speaking of worst movies, I have to go to dinner. Things are looking good, Gary. Good night. Good night, Andy. Thank you for coming and enjoy your dinner. But yeah, if you haven't seen a Ghibli film, you don't get to comment on what is good animation, in my opinion. And I'm sure Mr. Mole will agree with me there. Considering no Thomas stuff post Series 4 exists, I don't know what all this talk of Thomas movies is. That's a very good point, Alex, because of course Thomas ended at Series 4. That is just what happened. Ghibli and Aardman are excellent choices. Indeed they are. There we go, look. It's an interior. It's all painted. It's colours. Other than the purple, they all look quite close to what they are. No, in fact, they all look the same as they are, other than the purple. So, you know, win-win there. I mean, Season 5 was pretty good. Season 5 of what? Because Thomas only had 4 seasons, so Season 5 of what? Thomas consists of 26 books. You know, that's a good opinion to have, Paddleboard. Also, Steam Boy, which is anime, but not Ghibli. Oh, yeah, that's good. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That is good. Nice teary up. Thank you, James. I used to love it. Only reason Heroes are as good animated movies me because they got into trains. Also used to recreate the scenes. Indeed, Paddleboard, best way to look at it. That's an interesting spelling of Paddleborn there. So I need to paint this wall bit that I missed earlier. But you can all be very happy that I've finally done a carriage interior. Something I outright said I would not do. And I meant it when I said that. Only consider the rev cannon. Well, exactly, Alex. Best episodes when they introduced Spencer. But Spencer isn't even a good concept. Never mind a good character introduction. I don't care how rich you are, you don't buy an A4 to pull 2 carriages. Spencer doesn't exist, I have no idea how it can be the best of anything. That's a very good point, Alex. I've got a model of Spencer, but I inherited it. Oh, I've got a big one with no face, and also it's called Mallard. And now that that's done up, the bot is once again reminding us that hydration is important. I have a silver-ish and gold A4, and it also does exist. And its back head's falling out, so I'm going to remove that. Still got a lot of pipes to add to the back head. But yeah, see, I also have an A4, which is sort of silver and gold, currently. One day I'll get it finished. It's also really heavy, being solid lumps of white metal, with more solid lumps of white metal. My little plastic one isn't nearly as impressive. Exactly, Paderborn. Stepney is the best character in the entire Railway Series universe because LBSC. So, Jones is the best character because lanky. Nah, definitely Stepney, as Paderborn says. Silver A4 called Silver Fox, and that did exist. It did indeed. James, exactly, no, you're wrong again, Alex. Took a picture with a mallard in the York Railway Museum. Excellent. Everyone loves the Railway Museum. Find me the book written by Revolver in which Spencer appears and I'll consider it. Lucky and I was allowed to sit in it. Very nice. Mallard is a most impressive machine. Indeed it is. Bork train is okay. Yes. I mean, you're wrong, but okay. No, you're wrong, Alex. Thomas may be LBSC, but he's an E2, and E2s are terrible. We just need Corbs here, and he can confirm how terrible E2s are. I have a wooden Stepney, actually. It's my first wooden train. Excellent. I have lots of terriers. No, I mean, James' best character, I was responding to James about Fred Spencer. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll let you off then. There, I finished speed profiling all of my class 50s. Excellent. And how many class 50s do you have, James? That is the important question. But yeah, what is everyone else up to tonight? I haven't asked that yet. I normally ask that long before now. What are we all up to? Do tell me. I do like to hear what you are doing. These are dry. Lots. Lots is a good answer, James. That is the correct answer to the number of class 50s. I mean, I have none, so it would be the wrong answer for me. But it is one I have been tempted by in the past. Working on a new setup plan. Excellent. I approve of planning. Speed profile class 50s and assembling Merg circuit cards for a club layout. Excellent. Proof of being tempted by class 50s. Well, I thought you would. Well, I was playing a very up-to-date scenario on TS, downloaded scenario yesterday based on a service that happened 3 days ago. That's quite recent. Network Southeast livery, perchance. Never. Network Southeast is always the wrong livery. Always. The Engage Class 50 in the revised NSE livery will be released later this year. Ah, excellent. I assume that is on your list of purchases, which is very up to date. That is indeed very, very up to date. Finally going to be able to get a tender engine on the track. Excellent. I approve of getting tender engines on the track. About half of my class 50s are in NSE livery. That's just terrible, James. You should be ashamed of yourself. Owning NSE stock. There's an engineering train hauled by a class 68 over the Settle Carlisle in the snow. Very nice. Very, very on the list. Well, I assumed as much, James. Finally wrote up my first block logic test with circuit diagram and Arduino sketches. Excellent. Excellent. The other half a large logo. That's a better livery for them, James. That's a better livery. Keep fighting the good fight, James. Evil NSE. Previously the corners were way too tight. Ah, yes, that is always a problem. You do not want too tight corners. And there we are. That is the bearings cleaned out because I definitely didn't spray them full of primer. So now I can get the wheels back in, which will be great fun. They were not easy to get in or out. Okay, that one went in quite easy. Thinking about getting Hornby 57-foot LMS coaches. Ah, they are very nice coaches. Well, hey, that one was easy. So I use tank engines and diesels. Yeah, generally model diesels are quite good with tight corners. And there we go. It rolls nice and freely. Depends on the situation. Tight corners are fine for a dock layout, for example. Well, yes, fair enough. But if you have a dock layout, say Southampton, for example, you might be tempted to get an E2. So dock layouts come with their own issues. Way too many Dapol ones. Hornby better than Dapol. Well, look, you heard that from Alex there, saying nice things about Hornby. Okay, he only said they're better than Dapol, which is true, but you know. Donald and Douglas aren't terriers. That's the only thing that matters there. Why do I need to change my mind? Your choice. Well, yeah. They're not terriers, therefore they're not as good. Look at that on its wheels. Oh, come on. So, saying something's better than Dapo is barely a compliment. Well, that's true. That is very true. And I've realised I've put those on there. And I've not put any of the washers or anything on first. So that's a bad thing. Let's see if I can fish these out without having to pour everything everywhere. Nut. Nut. Washer. Washer. There's 2 more washers. Washer. And washer. Just learned how silly the Dapo ones are because the rake has 12 toilets. I mean, if people need the toilet, it's good to have more. Don't be like the Brighton who were like, nah, you don't need access to the toilets. If I was going to do a Southampton layout, it'll all be USA tanks. Good answer. That is what I like to hear. I'll just sit flat and turn. Once I've got you to bite, I don't need to do it with my fingers anymore. There we go, it's on. If I was going to say, what's wrong with 12 toilets, the LSWR chatting 2 carriages? Sends Alex 10 E2s. That's just mean. Why would you do that to someone? Any dock layout I would do would be small provincial type dock with an 040 Peckett. See, I would like as I said on Discord the other day, I would like to do New Haven with Fenchurch working it. Although it's a harbour rather than a dock, I'm sure there's a technicality difference there somewhere. I'm not one to argue too much about that. Burns all 10 E2s. Good answer, Alex. Couple of designs of carriage with 6 compartments, each with their own lavatory. That's quite impressive. Actually, now I don't like the old Hornby chassis. Yeah, that would be lovely. Yeah, see, in its earlier guys, so Fenchurch as an A1 painted goods green. Harbour, dock, wharf, all the same thing, really. That's what I thought. But look, we have a carriage on its wheels. I mean, the wheels are falling off because I've not done them up tight, but it's got an interior, it's on its wheels. It just needs couplings and air pipes. Vacuum pipes even. It should have footboards on there, but I can't work out how they go. Have you got a roof yet? No, I have a template for bending a roof, but I have not got the brass to make a roof with. And glazing, yeah, it needs glazing too, but that can wait till it's dry. Gotta go. Okay, good night, thank you for coming, great to have you here. Sleep well and all that jazz. Steam heating. I don't know if it had any other pipes, but yeah, I've got the layout of all the roof parts. I've got the template for making it. I've got all the vents and the toilet fillers and everything as well. I just need a sheet of brass to do it with. Going for a brass for the roof. That was the plan. I'm thinking with the free arc shape, it's probably going to be easier to get a sheet of brass to hold the shape. Not going to put a sheet of plasticard over the former, then stick it in the oven to soften. No, I don't trust myself to do that. I do not trust myself at all to do that. So we have here 2 pipes. And they are calling, oh Danny boy, the pipes, the pipes. I definitely wouldn't trust myself to do that. I'm glad I'm not the only one. So we're going to use our sheet of card to pour some glue on. We're going to get the glue onto this. You could probably also do it with boiling water, but less fun. Less dangerous as well. And then the pipe will stick on there. But it kind of sticks on its own at the minute because of the paint. And there is a link to the Discord from the chatbot. Thank you, chatbot. You do a valuable job. No steam heating. Honestly, I don't know. The thing only came with 2 pipes. Oh yes, a brake pipe to make coupling more fiddly. Exactly. Can't have things being easy. If I wanted things to be easy, I wouldn't use scale couplings in the first place. Not sure I consider boiling water that much less dangerous. Oh, but it is. It is definitely less dangerous. I mean, it's not dangerous. It's just not as dangerous. And there we go. 1 attached brake pipe. They're cheap then, going to catch cold without heat. Well, they've probably got worse than a cold already since we're in since it's an Invalid saloon. You raise a good point. You do raise a good point. But as Linny points out, making coupling even more fiddly since I use actual scale couplings. Also, the fact it didn't come with steam heating pipes means I don't have any. I have my big stash of vacuum pipes that I've stolen some from for this. But I do not have any others. There's a pic on the HMLS store which shows it in SE&CR condition with 2 pipes at each end. A tall one and a shorter one, both above the buffer beam. There we go, the kit is incomplete, boo Branchlines. Yes, how dare they not include a steam heat pipe for the end. I will write a complaint. I will also point out that this kit is Branchlines AJ Mullins, who very much is not Brian, who currently owns Branchlines. But as these are the only pipes I've got, the Branchlines box also shows 2 pipes at each end. It does, I'm well aware it does, because it is here on this as well. You can see pipe and pipe. but the steam heat pipe is smaller than the brake pipe, and I don't have anything smaller to use, so there's not a lot I can do. What, no Westinghouse? I do not have any Westinghouse pipes, no. I have somewhere close to 1,000 vacuum pipes. I have no Westinghouse pipes. That is why I still have close to 1,000 vacuum pipes, because they're no good for any of my Brighton stock. Hydration is still important. What can I say? I bought the pipes before I modelled the Brighton. I was a BR modeller when I got those. Heating is also important. Nah, it's fine. It's not like these people are ill or anything. So the next thing we need to do is make up the couplings. And I have decided that I am going to try, and probably fail, to use the Branchlines couplings. So we have the hooks and the two end shackles on the edge, and then the middle shackle with the, for tightening it, is a separate lost wax brass piece. BR modeler, well, I can't hold that against you. I'm tempted sometimes. Well, I got over it. I recovered. I'll take the vacuum pipes off. No, I find uses for it, don't worry. But for clarity, when I say I have a bag of nearly 1,000, I'm not joking, for those that haven't seen the bag before. That is just vacuum pipes in there. Many, many, many vacuum pipes. An MPD setting the timer, late steam, early diesel. So Alex, have I ever shown you the plan for what Oak Hill was going to be once upon a time? Because before I got what is now Oak Hill, there was going to be a layout called Oak Hill that was going to be an MPD in late steam. So, yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. Gary's not entirely recovered from BR. He mentioned being class 50 tempted earlier. I said I had been in the past, back when I was a BR modeller. Or BR era modeller. We'll go with. Back when I modelled those things. It's why I have 2 class 33s. And of course a 50 would make a great stablemate to a 33. I think everyone can agree with that. Right, that's those off. Let's clean them up a bit. $50 Equinox time travelled. Isn't one of your class 33s an NSE? You've seen the state of my NSE 33. Do I have to go and get it out and give people nightmares? I have posted a picture of it to Discord before. Between Waterloo to Exeter in the 80s and early 90s, maybe. Well, it's that they go well together. Because, yeah, I know where the NSE 33 is. See, that time must go, Nightle. It is that time. Yes. Keep wondering whether to get a 33 and Engage. Get a 33. The 33s are the best of the mainline diesels. They were occasionally seen north of Reading in my period. Sounds perfect. I'm going to do it, you know, just to make a point. Back in a second. Since I'm being accused of having an NSE 33, there's my NSE 33. Go on, tell me how much I like NSE livery. $50,0048. Dauntless would be the time traveller on the real class 50. That's a good one. So I just saw it in Discord. Drop it down the stairs. I did not drop it down the stairs, you monster. That was a bit post withdrawal. I'll never forgive you for this. But there's my NSE liveried 33. NSE livery, so much you appreciate on a Stroudley breakout. I do not. And look, there's the other side. This was 33035 once upon a time in NSE livery. It was halfway through getting a repaint into, well, getting stripped down for a repaint into green. A thing of great beauty. What? An NSE liveried Stroudley brake is not a thing of beauty. But my NSE liveried 33 on the other hand. Makes Gary any happier, the Engage 33 I have vaguely contemplate again is not in NSE livery. That does make me feel better. I mean, you could repaint it in a good livery. Well, you see, the thing is, I got that far through stripping it down, and then I was in the model shop the next day, and he had a sound fitted one in BR green for 90 quid. So I just bought it. So that one never got finished. That one being DCC fitted, but not sound. So when I was able to get a... So the fact I was able to get a sound one for 90 quid, it was suddenly a case of, well, this one isn't worth finishing. I wonder how it would look in umber, fully lined. You just don't use such. The NSA was here, National Association. Oh well, there goes my idea for an LYR Class 33. An interesting livery. Let's say US Government Department. Yeah, but why? Because why not? Why not? I'm sometimes tempted to paint my Hornby Sentinel in umber. Why would you put a 33 in L&Y livery for the lulls? I believe that's what the kids say these days. What are the chances this is going to fit through here? I'm going to say slim to none. Oh, it fit. Okay. It won't come back off now, though. It's nice. No, steam mirror liveries look bad on modern trains and vice versa. Dude, don't say that. I mean, I do the coach livery, not the black. I can't take it. Well, Alex, I must ask you then. Do I like NSE livery? Seriously, there are times I really wish I could quit the internet for good. Nah, you don't want to do that. That would be a bit of an overreaction, I think. Possibly. I mean, there are reasons to be off the internet occasionally, and you do very well with that on a Sunday, ironically. Yes, you're just going to really extreme lengths to hide it. Right then, umber paint on the 33 it is. Umber 33. Just for Alex. Alex made it happen. Super glue there. Oh, there's an issue I didn't see coming up. I think Drummond Green would suit it better. I'd argue the internet has done more to harm mental health in the last 10 years than almost anything else. I would argue that you're not wrong. Which is why I say, like, your day off the internet every week is a great idea. More people should do it. There's really not a lot that you can safely lose on there before you're going to make it too weak. Dude, you paint whatever you want, it's your model. But that's no fun. But that's no fun. Whatever livery it will stay as it is, in all honesty. I don't even have a use for the chassis, which is a shame. It's too long for a Brighton electric that I wanted to do. And I would have used the chassis for that. Happily. But no, it was not to be. No, I definitely need to lose more. lose too much more. We're just going to have a hole all the way through. I'll use my favourite class example. 150 was painted Great Western Green, 1 LMS Crimson. Both look terrible. Steam liveries do not suit modern stuff. Modern liveries do not suit Steam stuff. I'll be honest, I didn't think the Great Western one looked bad. I can't picture the LMS one though. Go through. Darn you. The Steam liveries were designed to show off the lines of the locos. Diesels and electrics don't really have lines. That's true. Your class 15's 47 painted Great Western Green 85. LMS was one worse, to be honest. I hated both. Same BR Line Green 66. Yeah, I thought the 50s and the 47s in Great Western Green didn't look bad at all. I thought lined green looked good on them. It went through. I'm not sure how long we're going to be using these couplings for, because that is a lot thinner than I would like. I'm not sure how much strength is left in that hook. And also these are a lot bigger than their Smith's counterparts, although not in the hook. There we go. Yeah, come on, you're through, so carry on going in. There we go, with a nice, realistic, shiny, bright golden coupling, just like they all had. They all had big, shiny, bright couplings back in the day that practically reached sleeper level. God, that is really low. I do think if you put that on the track, it would be dragging on the sleepers. That's no fun. So it would appear these probably aren't going to be kept for very long at all. So I'm not even going to bother to make them black, ever. Chemical blackening is your friend. Not if they're dragging on the sleepers, it's not. Probably best to use what you already use. Well, at least they don't drag on the sleepers. I need to get some more Smith's ones though. Which of course are also brass and arrive pre-blackened. Yeah, you're never going through, are you? No. So we're going to have to weaken this to the point of practically uselessness by enlarging the hole. And then we can have a coupling that dangles and drags along the ballast. My God, what a fantastic design. Sounds fine. Yeah, I can't see the problem either, Alex. No idea what I'm going on about. This one doesn't even want to get on the thing properly. Now it's bent. This is bent in one direction and the blooming hole is bent in the other. That's generally not helpful. See some of the early LSWR 7 link couplings with hooks on the end. Yeah. Some of those early couplings were mad. I thought you had cut yourself, then remembered it was paint. Yeah, it's paint. There'd be a lot more if I'd cut myself. You forget no one bleeds like I do. There we go, both ends are on. So now I'm going to push you through that. Wow, and because the shackle's pointing inwards on that one, it's fouling the bogey as well. Best couplings ever. I once had a nosebleed and that was nearly League of Gentlemen level. That wasn't fun. Mine are all like that, Alex. Actually mentioned them in the Weddle books. The LBSC complained about the LSWR carriage couplings being used on their line somewhere and catching the point tie bars, bending them. Wow. So, yes. Here we are at 3 minutes to midnight. 100 weeks into this adventure. And we have a carriage. with couplings that almost reach the sleepers. On the other side, because the shackle's turned in, they foul the bogey. Blooming LBSC always complaining. I know. How dare they want their permanent way not broken. What weirdos. Apart from the couplings, it looks fantastic. Thank you very much. And you see we have an interior that is very nicely painted. The carriage does look excellent, especially in the new lighting. Thank you very much. So yes, as I said earlier, this is... Love the interior. Thank you, Alex. Agreed, looking stunning. Thank you, Linny. Splendid carriage. I love the blue. Thank you, James. The blue looks great. Pumpkin, oh, look at the time. So yes, 100 weeks ago, I sat here very nervous. And I needed a drink, and I had no idea what to say because I was going to take a break from speaking. So I said, hydration is important. And like many other things over the last 100 weeks, that has rather stuck with me. Hydration is, of course, very important. And it looks like next week we'll be moving away from this workbench into the new recording studio. Which would not be happening if it wasn't for the support of all you lot watching now. And everyone else who watches after the event. And everyone who just kind of pops in and out. And it really does mean a lot. So thank you, everyone. It is now midnight, so there's not a lot left for me to say other than thank you for watching. I've had a great time. Lurkers always welcome. Exactly, Alex. But yeah, I've had a great time. This has been Let's Build. I've been Gary. You have been amazing. Thank you for the past 100 weeks, and I look forward to the next 100. Good night.